Albert. Albert is there?
Yes, I'm present.
Okay. Kevin? Kevin? Kevin is in. Kevin? Uh-huh. I think Rebecca is there, and then Kotek is there, then Kilibert is there, who is Millicent, then Kelvin. In this class, we want to learn about introduction to database management, and I'm going to share the slides as we continue so that we may learn on how we may do other things. An introduction to database, we will learn the expectation of us is about the introduction. We learn about definition of database. Then after learning about definition of database, we will learn about features of database. That is number 2. And number 3, we will learn about other things. We will learn about database types of database, evolutions, and we'll see about features of database, and we'll finish by learning about components of database. Now, let us start by defining what is a database. Who can define for us a database, or who can remind us what is a database? Who can remind us what is a database? Rebecca, can you remind us what
Yes,
is
sir.
yes, define for us database.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Database is a structured collection of data organized in such a way that it can be easily accessed, managed, and even updated.
Good for good definition. We have seen that our database is a collection of related data which have been organized in a way that they reduce or they remove what they call normalization, or they enhance what they call normalization. And in normalization, we have 3 things. We have number 1, the issue of updating. Number 2, we have the issue of inserting. And number 3, we have issue of deleting. So if in case, for example, you have the information stored in a database, you may see that you may forget to update or delete or insert. So those are the issues. Kodek, I see you have an hand. Kodek, you have something? Yes. You're okay. Let us embark also to the types of database. Who can give us the types of database? Before we continue. Yes, Kevin, give us one type of database, you know. Albert?
What about MySQL?
Yes. Good, MySQL. Another person? Kodek? Another type of database? Okay. Let me show the slide so that we can see the types of database. Yes? Kodek?
Microsoft Access.
Yes, Microsoft Access. We have another one. Yes, Rebecca.
You have the relational database.
Yes, good. Let me move very fast so that we may see. We move fast so that we may see the types of databases. You may see the types of databases. You may see the types of databases. We want to check. I think I'm getting my slides. Oh, okay. We have. Let me explain very fast so that we may see. In terms of databases, we have several. Number 1, we have. When I could get to my slides, let me get to it. Let me get to it. Let me get to it. Oh, allow me to open. Allow me to open it. Okay, let me go very fast. In database types of databases, we have relational databases, we have MySQL databases, we have what we say the access databases. In relational databases, the information are stored in row and columns. In MySQL, they uses the commands, and in Access, we store information in terms of tables. Number two, we use number two. We have things like queries and other things. And when we go down there, we want to go now to the components that makes a database. And we have several components that makes a database. Number one, we have the software. And number two, we have the hardware. And number three, we have the procedure. Now, what is a software in terms of definition? Who can define for us a software? Let me get to Kevin. I don't know Kevin if he's active. Kevin is there. Albert, can you paraphrase for us the term software?
Software, you can say it is a set of instructions.
Yes.
Embedded to a system to perform a particular task.
Nice. Rebecca, who can you paraphrase for us hardware? Rebecca? Rebecca? Is Rebecca around? Codec?
Yes, I'm in.
Yes, hardware.
The hardware are physical devices that are instructed by the hardware to function.
Good. Then we have another thing called we have the procedure. Now let me highlight it very fast so that we may check on what we are discussing. So that we can see what we are discussing. In components of database, we have said we have the software, we have the hardware, we have the data, and we have the procedure. Now we said software is a set of programs used to control and manage the overall database. They include what we call the operating system and also types of operating. We have the network software with the help to share data. Number two, we have the hardware, which consists of physical electronic devices like computer, input, output, and storage. And we have data comprising of collecting, storing, and the process which are done. And number four is the procedure. Now, the procedure is the set of instructions and rules that assist on how to use databases. And you see that when you are using this database, you have to follow a given procedure. Now, let us narrow down to characteristics of database. To class. Yes. To class. I think you can see well, eh? Can you see well? Rebecca and Albert, are you seeing it?
Yes.
Good. Allow me
Yes,
to...
you can see.
You can see the slides, eh? Now let us go to the last part of it, is characteristics of databases. Now, in characteristics of databases, we have several things to put in place. Number one, we have the procedure, we have the query process, and let me get to it. My machine is not well arranged. That is what is the problem. Now, in characteristics, we have several things. Number one is the way data is arranged, and number two, the way data is retrieved from it. What we have learned today is, number one, we have learned about the definition of database, and number two, we have learned about the types of databases, and number three, we have learned about the components of databases, and number four, we want to finish with something called features of databases. Among of us who have any query first as we continue? Yes. Class members who have a query? Yes? Albert? Rebecca?
I'm okay, sir.
Yes, Albert?
I'm also good. What about if I can ask this question?
Yes.
What is the purpose of this database?
Or the purpose of database. Yes, Rebecca, help us to answer the query of the class member, Albert.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll try.
Yes.
So I think the main purpose of the database is to majorly store data and information.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me clarify by adding also another point is that the work of database, number one, is helping us to retrieve data or to store data for future reference. Number two, it helps us also to arrange information in another under the manner. And I remember that we can have many things in an office or in an organization, but database is the best because you remember that we are normalizing data, and we have three issues that I said earlier. We have the update. Number two, we have the issue of delete, and number three, we have the issue of insert. So you may get that in our office, you may have files, and these files, when you use database, they help someone to identify the issue of updating, the issue of deleting, and the issue of inserting. So the information are well arranged and for easy access. Welcome, Daniel. We want to recap by giving you assignment so that we may meet the next time. You may go and research more on the advantages and disadvantages of databases. That is the area that you need to go and arrange, study. And number two, we also need to go and study more on the features of databases. Features on databases. Any query? Plus, I think we have done our class. We may plan for the next class. Hope that you will enjoy well. For the members who have joined, thank you. And I think we shall have the nice one.
Thank you, sir.